We must get the full accounting of what happened and why those responsible can be held accountable.
President, what do you know right now about why this happened? And can you assure Americans that there won't be a ripple effect?
Do you expect other banks to fail, Mr. President?
Should all depositors be protected at all banks? All right, thank you.
I don't know whether our friends can hear, but the USS Missouri, can you hear us? I see them all over there. They're standing at attention. Can I tell them at ease? I'm their commander-in-chief, right? I mean, let's also take a look at a moment to put the situation in a broader context. We've made strong economic progress in the past 2 years. Take-home pay for workers is going up, especially for lower and middle-income workers.
Democrats now are joining the calls for President Biden to go to East Palestine. He has said he plans to go. What are the plans for him to go? Why hasn't he gone yet?
So I've been asked this question multiple times, as you know, Kristen. Look, the president, when I don't have a trip to announce at this time. Again, this has been a priority for the president. He's been updated very regularly. He's like
understood, but now
Southern,
that now that all of that is in place, Democrats are saying it's time for him to get down.
And he said, when he was asked the question, that he will be there.
Director Young, do you think there is any wasteful government spending?
Peter, this is why we have $1.6 billion to go after fraud. That is a difference from the last administration who fired some of our IGs.
So no, the criticism from Republicans in Congress is that this budget just makes the government too big. You don't think so?
We would not have a $1.6 billion proposal to go after fraud and waste and crime syndicates.
To any of that?
Okay. Can you say the first one again, the first question?
So, can you respond to Governor Ron DeSantis in Iowa today, who said Florida is where woke goes to die?
So here's what I have to say. When Republicans, extreme Republicans, these MAGA Republicans, don't agree with an issue or with policy, they don't bring forth something that's going to either have a good faith conversation. They go to this conversation of woke.
I have two questions for Director Young. The first is, for the Pentagon, the president is requesting $842 billion. That's a 3.2% increase from last year, but inflation is at 6% currently. So how is that not a cut in real terms?
So remember, it matters what we spend the resources on. This defense budget was built on the National Defense Strategy.
So joining us today are two critical members of the president's economic team and cabinet, CEA Chair Cecilia Rouse and OMB Director Shalonda Young, full of the best and the brightest. And I am so proud to be standing with two of the best and the brightest in this administration.
Thanks. First for Dr. Rouse, with regard to the jobs numbers today, are you concerned that rising interest rates is going to torpedo the progress in the labor market, and that there's a disconnect between how the Fed looks at this and how the White House looks at this?
So what I would say is this jobs report, yeah, that does sound different. What I will say is that the resilience that we see in this labor market defies expectations of traditional macroeconomists, and will eventually get back to a more stable situation.
Do you think rates are too high?
So what I would say is that we see an economy that is quite resilient. And we still see, but we also understand that inflation is too high.
For Director Young, you've been asked multiple times about the future of Social Security, and most of your answers have focused on Republicans wanting to cut benefits now. Keeping that context in mind, will the president make a proposal at some time during his administration to help ensure that Social Security will exist for people who are retiring, as was already asked, in 10 years?
So the president has supported proposals that would extend Social Security. He has not walked away from those proposals.